NPP contest no mwaye de ehuru butu the latest research every academic research pools na abusafo Dr. Evans Dua outfit no research omode aba no point to the direction of Kennedy Akompreko ohine Japan na gap no na asa ye serious ba me kakra ye de ho nsem eba Dr. Bawumia da say according to the latest research polls by academic research polls omode ho nsem aba 31st January 2026 NPP for primaries are elected flagbearer for the 2028 general election. Na ho nsem no eba Kennedy Japan, Dr. Bawumia, Dr. Brian Champon, Dr. Yawse Duchum, and na kwabena Agyapong engineer. Omo position on the latest research in ASM and the home sembashana high na Jan 20 bacho subscribe to channel member we have bell notification icon or better than on me drop a video I'll be the first person to get it akwaba yengum be jom e the amount Dr. Evans Dua lecture Amstead say the nekan Amstead the only say why latest research bia or the about to just Kennedy Japan as we speak the research nature say on an 44.1%. Now we research between August and September 44% na Kennedy nyaye. The previous research we na Kennedy 41%. And to see ameno ka say we drew 44%, na just say we have 3% increment and 3% jump. Dr. Bawumia, and so as we speak, on 39.51%. According to Dr. Evans Dua, what say Dr. Bawumia and 39.5%. Now I say the last research we here, you know, now Dr. Bawumia 39.1%. That is a percentage increase, not a 0.4 pe. And do you Kennedy the increment in through a chain Dr. Bawumia there. Dr. Evans Dua, and do you flyer that with screens where I mean kind case of GBC, Omana and Saka flyer Kennedy Japan 44.1%, Dr. Bawumia 39.5%, Dr. Brian Champon 6.2%, Dr. Yawse Duchum 3.19%, and engineer Kwabena Japan 0.86%. Now, they interesting here. So percentages am they good media to Jan. Worst case scenario. Anya according to Dr. Evans Dua, the same penny for Benyani. No say best case scenario. Not just a year palm candidate as expected. Kennedy Japan be free 44%. I could do 53.8%. That is about what we know you. According to Dr. Evans Dua. So Anna, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, be free 39.5%. Actually about 32%. Hey, Charlie, really too much. Dr. Brian Champo be free 6.2%. Ako 8.2%. So now Dr. Yawse Duchum, former education minister, be free 3.19%. Ako 4.39%. Engineer Kwabena Japan be free 0.86%. Ako best case scenario 1.33%. And then chemwa Dr. Evans Dua, where lecturer Amstead, Osanso researcher, the latest research, academic research pools, the year about to Janie, Nana Jan 2 TV Kwana breakdown. Mama ko tie Dr. Evans Dua and Chirimu what they buy, and Chirimu they buy at the country and how he was able to arrive at these figures. Percentages in the Unyane say, and any person on who did incomo, Yankonenko Timun Chirimu, Dr. Evans Dua, and or the press conference.
It's in the nominal values right there, and that's I'll break it down for the regional level. So out of these 16 regions, if you look closely at the total delegates we have here, out of the 204, there is a population density where some regions have more delegates than others, which means that some of them carry more weight in terms of if you can win, if you, for example, you win even 90% in, for example, let's say Savannah, or you win Northeast, you're having 3,490. And 3,490 Northeast is not even up to 10% of Ashanti region or 10% of Greater region. What it means is that percentages should not be it. People should look at the nominal values and the gains that they are making within that region. So Ashanti region as it stands, we are seeing that currently Honorable Kennedy Japan leads in Ashanti region with about 15,000, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia with 13,000, Dr. Brian Champon with 1,740. Dr. Yawse Duchum is the biggest gain in Ashanti region for this period, and he moves to 2,800. Engineer Kwabena Japan moves to 196. And then we still have a lot of undecided and undisclosed there, and it continues. So as you can see, I'll bring it down for this one to let it be easier for all of us. So if you look at it from the best case scenario, what you are seeing right here is that you have Ashanti region where Honorable Kennedy or Agyapong leads even in the worst case scenario. He leads in Ahafo, which he was not leading in the previous worst case scenario. But after he toured the 3 swing regions, he has made inroads in 2 out of 3. So previously, he was not leading in the 3, but now he's made inroads in 2. And so Ahafo and Bunu now, Honorable Kennedy or Agyapong. Bunu East still stands for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Central region is still standing with Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Eastern region, which previously in August was for Brian Achampong, has seen that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has gained in Eastern region, reducing the vote of Honorable Brian Achampong. And for that reason, Kennedy now leapfrogged the 2 of them to become number 1. In Greater Accra, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is still leading. Northeast is still very, very sure and emphatic. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is leading emphatically with a very wide margin. Northern region, the same. OT, he's leading. Savannah, Upper East, Upper West. Voters still, like they did in 2023, is still standing with Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Western region and Western North, which previously was for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. In August, we saw that Western region and Western North had moved to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And in the September polls, they are still. So this is a heat map that gives you an idea in terms of the regional balances that we are seeing. So you can see that there is all the ones in red here are for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and the ones in blue are for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. So previously in August, Eastern, we had Dr. Brian Achampong here, which due to the gains by Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, which had eroded some of the votes of Dr. Brian Achampong, Kennedy Agyapong now is leading in Eastern region. So you see the Southern Bloc and the Northern Bloc happening throughout. So in this case, we are looking at Honorable Kennedy Agyapong leading 9 regions in the worst case scenario, and his maximum will be 11 regions. What it means per September is that no matter what he does, he is not capable of winning more than 11 regions. There are some regions, no matter what he does, he will not be able to win them. And the same thing applies to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. But remember, like I've mentioned, this is just a snapshot. So what we are looking at currently is that there has been a bit of hiatus. Now with this, in August, we had some of the candidates doing well, but in September, we are seeing a sharp change with some of them, and I would share them with you right away. So as you can see, in the worst case scenario, we have an Honorable Kennedy Agyapong doing a 44.11%. This is against what he did in August, which was a 41.73%. Now, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who did a 39.09% in August, has also improved slightly from 39.09 to 39.51. So Honorable Kennedy Agyapong has increased significantly, and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has also increased, but marginally. And then we have Dr. Brian Achampong, who has actually decreased as compared. He was around, the previous one was around 11.34%, and now he's doing a 6.28%. Then Dr. Yaose Duchum, who was doing a 2.71% in August, is now doing a 3.19%. And Kwabena J. Agyapong, who did a 0.34%, is actually doing a 0.86%. So you could see that almost 4 out of 5 candidates have all in a way significantly improved. And this is what has been extrapolated and projected based on the total population size. So we are looking at, in the worst case scenario, we're having a situation where none of these candidates is crossing the 50+1. It means that as it stands, then there is a situation that can happen that there could be a probable runoff if things should stand as this way. However, based on the number of, so if you look at it carefully over here, we have here been 94% of the worst case scenario, because the undecided and undisclosed are forming 6% to make it 100%. Please, is that okay? So now what happens is that in the best case scenario, we see one of the candidates crossing the 50+1. And if as at the September polls, and please, I always say this is not predictive. It is actually just a snapshot as at a period. As at September, if there is any candidate that can cross the 50+1, then it is Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. And we are looking at the 53.8%. Then Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia actually drops because most of the people who voted for him maybe in 2023 most of them are in the undecided and undisclosed, and they are really looking at where they will stand. Dr. Brian Agyapong gains from 6.28 to 8.27. Dr. Yaosei Duchum gains from 3.19% to 4.39. And Kwabena Agyapong moves from the 0.83, because he was doing 0.34 in August. He's moved to 0.86, and in the best case scenario can move to 1.33. Now, these are how it is looking like for all of them. So we are looking at the worst case scenario being like the baseline, and then the best case scenario being like the ceiling. So what it means is that currently the potential of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong now is he doing a minimum of 44% going into the primaries and a maximum of 53% going into the primaries as such September. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is currently doing a minimum of 32% and doing a maximum of 39%. Dr. Brian Agyapong is doing a minimum of 6.28% and a maximum of 8.27%. Yaosei Duchum is doing a minimum of 3.19% and a maximum of 4.39%. And Engineer Kwabena Agyapong doing a 0.86% and a maximum of 1.33%. If you look at the delta, you look at the change happening here, almost all four candidates gain, whilst Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is the one who loses because he is the main candidate from which the other candidates are taking votes from. Please, I hope you understand it. When I say block, we have the blocks happening. So we have the northern blocks, the southern blocks, and the swing blocks. If you look at the northern blocks, for example, the gains there was number one about the message. So in terms of the message that they felt that the job creation resonates with them and other messages that the candidate was given. Then there was also pressure coming from their neighbors. So some people would tell them that we prefer this candidate and we would implore you to vote for this candidate. Then there is also the 1.7 million gap, which took so many people by surprise. They knew the election, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia would win. They knew he would win. Even if he would lose, it wouldn't be with that big margin. And that caused a bit of confusion about presenting him again in the minds of some people. So therefore, if another candidate comes out as a better alternative, they then tend to look at that candidate too.
Yes, Dr. Evans do an out in Kano, but interestingly, a bit of papai, Akwaja Damudie, and who favor candidate Bakubi, or throw figures into the public space, now brim delegates and so. And then Dr. Evans Dia say, well, no, Najuma you be a man capre. He's not taking a penny from any of the candidates. Candidates near 5, Dr. Bawumia, Kwabena Agyapong, Kennedy Agyapong, Dr. Brian Agyapong, and I say Duchum doctor. Also on Jesus can feel biao. And to more NPP for now, more supported camp bia. Latest post ne enko in your favor. Model tono says Akwaji can see he's not taking a penny from any of the candidates. Sasemono Munyaka, Dr. Evans Dia, once again, whether he has taken money from some of the aspirants.
Okay, so I'm an NPP member. I am actually an interested party. Now, being an interested party here is a matter of within the NPP, what are the delegates actually saying? So the first polls that we did, if you looked at all my media engagement or my public engagement, it was the fact that Camp A had called me, Camp B had called me. And I needed to make a decision if I'm joining Camp A or Camp B. The research was done for my own decision. In other words, with no engagement with Camp A or with Camp B. And then I went on to do. So the first one we did was 8,000, which was not public. And then I increased it further to 20,000. And when I did the 8,000, I saw some pattern I had not expected. Then I went to 20,000. Then I saw that same pattern. That is when we made it public. As of today, have I decided? Not yet, because as I mentioned, it's not predictive. It is actually as at a period. So So I did a second one with my team. And the reason why we did a second one was to realize that, are we having the same winning team winning again? Because I need to make a decision. And eventually, I can say it on record. I have not taken any penny, and anybody who knows me very well. Credibility is very important when it comes to some of these things. Do I have friends in Camp A? Yes, I have friends. Do I have friends in Camp B? Yes, I have friends. Do I have friends in Camp C, Camp D? I have friends because I'm an NPP member. And in fact, if there is any bias, I came from the root of John Kuma. I was more like a friend or an aide to John Kuma. So if you know where John Kuma stands, then there's a certain camp John Kuma was with. And anybody who saw, even during the December, I did videos campaigning vigorously for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. So if anything, there is a camp that I may be identified with already. However, I decided not to do Camp A, Camp B. But let's objectively, and I'll quote Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia for this, we should be driven by data. And if I'm to make a decision, and I'm making a decision on something, then I need to make it based on data. So therefore, we go and then we go to do the research. Now, what are the biases that can happen in some of these research? The biases are very simple. You go and do such a research, and if anybody has paid you for it, you'd want to do that in favor of that person. But where you are doing this with your own resources and you are making a decision for yourself, you don't want to do something to deceive your own self to make a wrong choice if you have to. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. So basically, I am officially not yet with any camp. Not yet. And I'm saying that because this research was supposed to drive towards decision.
Abusafo, Dr. Evans Dia, I know then 72 yana, but Obon Stoffer in the local language chi, Asante chi. Memoatie, sa ne tofana or boy, you know, Nina say the latest research of the urban secondary Agyapong LED, Dr. Bawumia, former vice president, the last election, the two Frankama NPP, no, as or droppy, or Bonatofa in the local dialect. Yes, I am quoting Dr. Evans Diabium, Yaba, Yabato.
We as at September, and it means that senior August to September, necessarily, the free September, so called Pim January, necessarily, so which may have. And as at September, dear, the worst case scenario, interest or more decided to win a electoral man. And a best case scenario, you consider other factors such as any panel. Now, who are you to me? I could do her, and now I could do so. It's a figures here, the work screen is so. What you say in the best case scenario, candidate back open, and as of September, which means 50 plus 1, which is Honorable Kennedy of Agyapong. As of September, no. All the candidates are your name or more corporate franca to put now winning out a Camboma. Or be anyone asa the net, obey to me any 50 plus 1, except Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Because in the worst case scenario, no, when I'm 44, into August when you're 41, and away increasing above 44. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia previously no only 39.09 or non so we increasing every 39.09 about 39.51. It means that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong wakonenim, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia so akonenim. Name of a nim kono makono. A big dear esosni baby. Enti dear intremna woni na ne se sie franka for na flagbearer na ye kano. Ya dia ebetumi aba say run off ebetumi awo, but in common conversation the message na e call from nature say nipa baako ana se ne bibia ejina se na ebetumi nya 15 plus 1 Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Dr. Brian Champon Eastern Region perform kakra ana ohwe ne momentum onya August na aba from kakra ana Dr. Yao said you ana ohwe from August, Pepim September, what gaining momentum, we increase out to Ashanti region, say, Nanka Ashanti region, Nanko Betoso nice, say, oh, Betoso me and son, out to the votes and so on, ABC. Engineer Pabne Agyapong had a message now, canon, amount for so to also any increase, or also about the name Kakra. And I don't know, make sure we screen this so you're breaking it down. We also break in region by region. In all these cases, we get constituency by constituency, interior constituency by constituency, and you can hear region by region. It's what screen is to see. Extra said, and in the worst case scenario, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong which may within 9 regions. 9 regions no Ashanti region, Ahafo, Bono. Now Ahafo ne Bono, which August na Nenka Ahafo ne Bono, Ejina Homa Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. But about September, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, Akoneni, Ama Ahafo, Ene Bono, and so Abekan. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia East, Bono East, Ejina di Ejina, Edaso Wadwa. Central, Senate Moto 2023, and September, August, no. Central region, so Edaso Ejina. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Eastern region, Anna 2023, ne Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Yeah, August, no. Ne Dr. Brian Agyapong. By year September, no. Dr. Brian Agyapong votes akọ from kakra. Ama Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia votes so akọ so kakra. Anna Honorable Kennedy Agyapong votes no. So anti to no abeda number 1 over list. Anna Greater Accra the omoda so senior August no the kind Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Eda so the kind war Greater Accra. Northeast very emphatic. Omoda so Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Northern region omoda Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Oti region Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Savannah Upper East. But Kakra Mekane said, the individual votes now AC in the 5 northern regions. Now those are Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and that's leading on. There has been why I can say significant gains for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. There's been significant gains for Engineer Agyapong. There's been significant gains in the 5 northern regions for Dr. Anna, Dr. Brian Agyapong. But Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is still leading in these 5 regions. Voter regions, so senior 2023 now, Motoma, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. August is net Omujina, Eba. September, so that's now Western region in Western of 2023. Omotoma Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. August, you will say Western region in Western of Asuchi Aba Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. September, so that's Ujina Diana. It's carefully in the situation Bruno East is very tight. It's the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong the best case now. Only Blue East for the Castle to say, which necessary margin Akona. Offer Otia very tight, and this is and on the money moving from 9 regions, a 11 regions. It's really there. A senior who screen is so. It looks like a country much a stroke, which is the northern part, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Anna, I see no more. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Now you feel this swing me regions now as a mono a tight baby omujina. And too far Bono no region I have for no is that Nanka last August Nanko Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia by saying I have for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Anna Bono and so Asociaco Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. In a nutshell, you can't in the September post, you said there has been a significant improvement of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. What calling him as you say, you could be able to me across 50+1 as a September, dear, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and so calling him from your August, about September, to me, so also according him kakra. But a marginal, a Juma Bibre or also almost a year. And Dr. Brian Agyapong now, September, the moment will gain August, so Axia or so, yeah. Dr. Yao said to again from August to September, we're calling him Engineer Agyapong, so from August back in September, on no swap on any man. It's saying I'm not born a top one for your September, just like it happened in August now. The same first to fifth, difference is a percentage wise, if you mark how many asne for it's a Hana University, and it's only a kind, 26,000, which is about 12%. You also changes between AC, swing regions, and for customer, will be confidence level, which is 95% with a plus or minus 0.66% margin of error. Poor way offers the kind of say a credible snapshot And this polls was conducted without sentiments, without anything. In fact, we didn't need anything with politics. And it was meant for us to have an idea. In fact, any prediction, what we are given is as of September. It's in August, in the society by Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, every 41, ACO 44. And the best case scenario, every 51, ACO 53. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, every 39.09, ACO 39.89. Ntutu said, Ubia Geni Kakra. But the dynamics na is some region. And in age na said, be obebia, Omako Honi Omako Kasa, baby Omunyan Druho, baby Insua, Omako Friho, into dynamics no, SSA. And then, as of today, September, polls a year for September 22nd, copying 5th of October. Officially, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, any momentum away 41, echo 44, and the best case now, so 51, so 53. And we see, say, on a momentum, I want to side by Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, so gaining Kakra, but again, no form, very significant. But the best case scenario, Abra will be in your votes, no, net or more cheap Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, until the votes, no, so exit. Into Ahana, maybe the semester was and for be more patients be an impact of people. So, if there are any questions,
so does I can change of
okay, sorry. Okay, so please, I'll take questions. Yes.
For the swing regions, what are the numbers looking like? Or what are the dynamics in the swing regions?
So the dynamics in the swing regions is that we have someone like Honorable Kennedy Agyapong who just went there, and the post was done after he had just left. So you could see that most of the message that we got from the people, and with you, I'll share some of the stuff with you, and I can't share, I can let you, for ethical reasons, I can let you listen. You realize that most of them, his message is going down very well with them. They feel they identify with him, and his message is doing well. So after he left, he got to change the minds of many of them. However, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is also now there. So we'll do a last one when everybody is done, and that will give us a better understanding of what is happening. So it's actually the message that he's giving. So for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, for the swing regions, it's
yes, so Dr. Evans Diana Moteneka Buja for Infancia and Charana Janto Sokato Mamobetinenka on this latest research from Dr. Evans Dia, academic research polls. Or more latest research on the NPP primaries and on the who answer my baby to you. Mr. Obe subscribe channel, my movie and like and comment and share na afufronso anya bia hwe de bia me kase menye pese me nkumnya na na Janto TV ne papi ene de mamo ye besa to aso enche so kato ma obete nka medamu nyina ase yakra mo.